What's going on, everyone? This is Jeff at Geek Driven, and we are here for another episode of Cover Lovers. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. But before we get started, we've got Soundwave and Ravage to my left.
What's up, dude? We're not Irish, but we're gonna pretend like we are today on this wonderful St. Patrick's Day. We're good, man.
Guess
good.
what? The leprechaun did something very weird.
The leprechaun came to the house and stole the remote control
and put it in the sock in the
put
underwear.
it in his underwear drawer and left all this chocolate and these beads and everything everywhere, glasses, all kinds of nonsense. It's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
these glasses were actually from Lady's.
Oh, these are from Lainey's mom?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe she's a leprechaun. You never know, man.
She is.
Did you find her at the end of a rainbow?
Yes.
Is she always eating Lucky Charms?
Yes.
Dude, I think maybe we need to investigate that a little further. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to go find her pot of gold.
I also caught her today. I caught her. I'm serious.
Watch out how much you search for her pot of gold. Because
I took the pot of gold. And then I put it in my house.
Hang on. Hang on, wait a minute.
And then she was like, "Oh no, it's not me or the gold that you're looking for. You're the one that has it out."
Oh my gosh, crazy. Anyway, we've had a good one. We've had a good week, and we're looking forward to looking at doing some nerdiness with you. I think it's just you and me tonight, right?
Yeah, just you and I, or us three. It's you, me, and the leprechaun.
Yeah, exactly. Mute us. They can't hear you and your nonsense.
All right. So let's give a shout out to our sponsors before we get started and see those covers. We'll give a shout out to Cover Price. If you want to get 30 days of unlimited cover price for only 99 cents, you just got to type in the code NERDVANA14. And then you go over to Bird City Comics. You can get 10% off your purchase by typing in the code TNH10. And you can get 10% off your first purchase at displaygeek.com by typing the code Team NerdHerd. And then, of course, we got to give a shout out to our horseman, Uncle Rudy. You can find him on IG at SantiRude1. And then you can find our resident DJ, Eddie, at Beats by Monster on IG. All right. And then let's give a shout out to our chat here. Of course, GTK Comic is first, always saying what's up. And then we've got Derek Neiman right behind him in a close second. And then we've got Trish. Yes, I'm here. And hopefully for the future, because my schedule is now set and I am good to go at work at both jobs.
About time.
Yes. And then Six Boys, thank you for dropping in. We always appreciate it. And then they call me Bruce. Happy St. Patty's Day to you too.
It's St. Patrick's Day, not St. Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day is the
it's the lazy version.
The slang version.
St. Patrick's.
But I'll say it correct. Happy St. Patrick's Day. All right.
Sorry, Mama.
Well, let's get started. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oh, I guess I have to do something here.
What the heck is all that?
All right, here we go. And we're going to start off with the incentives, of course. And I don't know why these graphics are here, but I guess we're going to find out. And we got the Rewind. We love the 80s.
Love the 80s.
The Herculoids, one of my favorite on USA.
Is that a cover? That's not the cover.
And there we go. That's why he went there.
Oh,
okay.
Wow,
So we've got a 1 in 20 by Felipe Masafera. We got a 1 in 20 by Bjorn Behrens. And we've got another 1 in 20 by Eric Powell. So who wins the 1 in 20 battle? Obviously, this is going to be the Herculeans.
I would choose this one because
I think it's Herculeans.
Choose this one.
I don't know. Just let me see.
So, Mike, what do you think?
Man, I don't know. These are so. Man, I really don't know. I do. So I really like Powell. And it's been a long time since I've seen him do anything, to be honest. I mean, really, it's been since Redneck. What was the last thing he did? No, I guess he did like Grumble and a couple other things after. So good stuff from him. I really like his style. I'm not sure if I like. There's not enough contrast on his cover though. Maybe too much. These covers all have too much green on them. I feel like.
You got to take off your glasses there, buddy.
My glasses.
You're gonna see everything in green.
Oh, okay, that's way better. Okay, calm down. No, but for real, I think his cover is actually too yellow. Now that I see it, with not a whole lot of differentiation there, I really wish there was just a little bit more separation. The Berens actually, the Triceratops looks really, really cool, but I'm not sure about the rest of it. Like the background's like super blurry-ish, like a little bit too muted. I think maybe for this particular kind of thing with an 80s vibe to it, I think I like the Massifera the best.
Which one is it?
It's this one here.
Oh,
I mean, it has great color, great separation. I think while there's a lot of characters on the cover, it doesn't feel cluttered. Really cool perspective. It's painted. We know that it's really painted. The background might be just a touch lazy, but I think overall that cover pops the best, and I think it's my favorite. Although I don't hate any of them. I think they're all decent covers, but I think the Massifera is my favorite.
Can we do this thing again?
Yeah. Well, we have one for Massifera. Most of the chat likes Massifera as well. I dig like part of the Eric Powell, but the background, like he muted the dragon, and then I forget the dad's name, but I mean it looks like he didn't put as much effort in it, and it just looks off. Rest of it's okay, but yeah, I wouldn't consider it probably not an incentive cover. And if I'm to guess, if this is Dynamite, these all have a trade dress.
Yeah, and probably a black and white and an infrared and
right. Yeah, definitely. The Berens,
infrared, you know what I mean? Negative, whatever they call those. Ultraviolet, isn't that what they call those?
Ultraviolet.
Something like that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, the Berens, I agree with you. The Stegosaurus looks cooler, but the guy on top, he just looks like an old Conan He-Man action figure.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was a little bit too Conan-y too.
Yeah, so I was just that's no bueno, and I don't like the fact that he muted the background. He put details in the background.
Yeah, why wash those out? I don't understand that.
I mean, it's not like he's super far away. It's pretty right there. So the background should have been a lot more clear, but meh.
I get that it gives his covers depth, and I think that's what he's going for, is that realism.
Right.
But I think he maybe went a little too far on this one.
I think so too. I just think, I mean, you're in the middle of the forest, back in the BC times, millions of years ago, and I mean, I'm sure everything had color.
Yeah.
And
Igor, what's up, dude?
The Massifera is I agree. It's probably my favorite as well. I'll go with the chat and you. It just gives me that, heroic vibe, and I like the whole team together in that picture. So and this is one of my favorite cartoons when I was growing up. So definitely dig that version of them by Massifera. So
you didn't miss much, Igor. Don't worry. This is the first cover set.
Yes. All right. Then all are better than the life field. There's a life field.
Oh no, is there really? Oh, gosh.
Well, there's gonna be no feet. Massifera's at least looks more what I'd expect from an upscaled cartoon. Yes. The Powell looks strange. Yes. And the Berens is too muted to me. Yes. Agreed, Trish.
Yep.
Hey guy, happy Mondays. Yes, happy Monday, Igor. And it looks like no. You got the first book, so you're good. You're just in time.
Yep.
And then you're just in time for the second book. Of course, we're going to the Silverhawks. All right.
Baby.
We've got Mark Spears at a 1-20. We got a Ivan Tao at a 1-30, and a James Stoke at a 1-50. This might be a little bit difficult choice here, but Mike, what do you think?
Oh, I think it's the Tau in this case. Although I like the spears, because I think I like some of the elements in the spears. I like the sort of the mist and the background. I can't remember what the villain's called, and the throne and stuff are cool. But I don't know that I want the helmet on. Like I always want the helmets on these guys. So I just think that anything that reminds me of the packaging or the figures of old are a win for me on Silverhawks, and for me that's the Tau in this case. The Stokey, which I think he misspelled that. That's James Stokey, right? Is just a little too busy for me. Although there's some really cool elements in there, and it's got kind of a cool vibe, but it's just like a little bit too much. He went a little overboard with all the meteors or whatever those are supposed to be. So I like the spears. I really like the Tau, and I haven't liked the Tau in a really long time. He went off on this weird, like super deformed tangent there for a while that really didn't do it for me. But I think he got this one. I think he nailed this one. So for me, it's the Tau.
All right. One for the Tau. I'm glad that he has done something way better than we've seen recently. And it's been a long recently too, not a short recently. And Mark Spears is back, one of the more popular artists recently as well,
Maybe
with all the monsters book.
Maybe the most recently.
Yeah. And I mean, I dig the spears. It's a throne cover, so obviously people are gonna want that. It gives me a little Star Wars vibes.
Mixed with Thundercats, that's totally Lion-O main going on there.
Yes. And then we got Ivan Tao. That definitely looks cool. Yeah, it does look like Lion-O, right?
Yeah, it does look like Lion-O in Silverhawks garb without the helmet on.
It's just really weird to me.
I know, I can't get that out of my head.
Yeah, I almost forgot it was a Silverhawks book when I looked at it. And then we've got Tao with the great, like almost, majestic looking Silverhawk. And then we've got Stokey. I like the Tau, but I'm gonna go just slightly different here. I'm gonna pick the Stokey. I know it's busy with all the asteroids and stuff, but I kind of dig the character that he drew. I dig how he drew him. I like the background. I kind of dig that it's kind of like surfing through the galaxy kind of thing, and it looks like a record album. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of cool with that. Yeah, the 1 of 50 is probably going to be pricey. So get the the ones with the actual titles on them, or go for the Ivan Tao.
The Mark Spears reminds me of if I'm not mistaken, I've got to look it up. I was trying to type it quick, but I couldn't get to it. Does anyone remember the movie Krull from the 80s? The movie with the glaive weapon, the boomerangy frisbee looking glaive weapon. I remembered it being a great movie, and then I rewatched it like 10 years ago, and it's absolutely unwatchably awful.
Oh, I think I do remember. Yes,
it's really bad. But this reminds me of the poster. I don't know if I'm right on that, if it's that one or if it's a different poster that I'm thinking of, but I think it's that. It's either that or maybe it's Last Starfighter, possibly, or something like that. But it definitely has an 80s poster vibe. The Spears does. So I dig it for that reason. But
yeah, if you watch that movie now, it feels like it's like a B movie, right?
It was tough to rewatch. Really tough to rewatch. Much like Red Sonja, if you remember that one.
Yeah,
you're like,
the
I really
Conan
want this to be good. I want this to be so good.
Krull, yes, with the three pointed.
I think it's 5. I think it's like 5.
I thought it was 3 pointed, like talon, like
talon, like blade. It's called a glaive, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right.
I think.
Wow, you remember what it's called? I actually like Krull too. Darn it!
It was an Atari game as well.
I'm afraid to go back and watch it, but I think I'm gonna have to now just to see.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is 5. It is 5. I'm looking at one now. It is 5-pronged.
Oh, it is 5-pronged. Okay,
it is 5-pronged. Yep. Yeah, please be nice to that.
All right. Well,
Oh,
let's
look at
go
this
on a
with
GI Joe.
all the interim slides.
Yeah, I didn't know. I guess he wanted to make this show a little longer.
I guess so.
All right, we got GI Joe number 5, a 1 in 10 by Carl Kerschel, and a 1 in 25 by Travis Moore. Obviously, we got the action figure and then whatever Kerschel did. So, Mike, which one?
I actually like the Kerschel. The Travis Moore feels like almost exactly like. Was it a DNA cover? Was it Nakayama that did the female Cobra soldier?
Yeah, but he did it way better.
He did do it way better. So it's impossible for me to like this because that one's so much better. If I want a female Cobra soldier, I think Valkyrie is what they're called.
Yes.
I want the Nakayama, not this one. And I'm also really sick of the burst cover thing. But I love the action and stuff going on in the Kerschel. It's not the greatest art in the world, but he kind of nails all of it in his own sort of like kind of amped up splash page in a way. And that could also be the colorist that did that for this cover. But I think it's really cool with all the characters just sort of right there in battle. The what are the Jeeps called in GI Joe? I can never remember the name of them.
I can't remember the name of those.
I'm basically thinking of every other vehicle in my head but that one. But yeah, just that jumping up over the top of a dune or something. I mean, it works. It just has a really cool action feel to it. There's environment. There's story being told. I think it's just a better cover overall and perfect out of 1 in 10. I think I think it's right where it should be at 1 in 10.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised the action figure one isn't a 1 in 10. Weren't a bunch of them a 1 in 10?
Yes, some of the early ones were. Yes.
Okay, early ones. Oh, I get it. They make it the 1 in 25 now. It's a little more expensive, and they've got you already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna agree with you. Yeah, I mean, Nakayama did a better job with the the Valkyries. That one Valkyrie. So I wouldn't be able to pick up the Travis Moore either. I don't like the Kerschel as much as you do, but I do like it in the simple fact that like I feel like this is like a comic book cover of like almost like the intro to GI Joe.
Yeah, to the cartoon, right?
Yes, right from the cartoon where like all the vehicles are flying over everything.
Are the Jeeps called Stingers? Is that right?
Is that what they're called?
Someone tell me what the code name for the Jeeps are. I think it's Stinger, but I'm not positive. It's been a long time. I haven't collected Joe in a really.
Did I say Vamp? I said Valkyrie, right?
It's Valkyrie. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I dig it because it has action. This is GI Joe. I want to see action.
Yep.
I just don't know how much more I can express that for a GI Joe cover. That's what brings in people, get them interested, and you have a chance to put in multiple characters, which there's a ton of GI Joe characters in the whole mythos. So, I mean, just a chance to get multiple characters in a cover is great too. So yeah, I'll go with the Kerschel, and it's a 1 in 10, so it will be a lot more affordable.
Oh, okay. GI Joe. Okay, so GI Joe was the Vamp, the Cobra was the Stinger. I was close. I'm sorry. It's been a long time. Like it's probably been 20 years.
Okay.
Okay, so the Cobra Jeeps were the Stingers, the GI Joe Jeeps were the Vamps.
Oh,
okay.
That's what it's called. Vamps.
Okay. Roger that. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. All right. Well, let's move on. Oh,
or sorry, Mark. Pardon me, Mark. Yeah.
We're gonna stay in Thundercat.
No, we are staying hard in the 80s.
Yes.
Fast forward.
Wait, what?
What?
I don't know what he did. I'm not even.
Why did he do Thundercats? He must have pulled one out and forgot to take that out.
Maybe he did. All right. Well, we got the Last Boy number 1. We got an Adam Hughes 1 in 25 and a Bill Sienkiewicz at a 1 in 50. Obviously, he put the 1 in 50 also has a trade dress. So, Mike, take a look.
Okay.
What do you think?
So I'm assuming Last Boy. We're talking Peter Pan here. Is this a Peter Pan?
I'm thinking fairy tale stuff here. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's Hook and TikTok or whatever.
That's TikTok and the beat behind him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing it's a Peter Pan thing.
What up, Kenneth?
I mean, I think it's so. I know. You know what? Damn you, Alonzo! I know what you're doing to me right here. You're putting my two favorite artists on the same verses, and you're going to make me choose between them. And I want to choose the Sienkiewicz, but I just can't. It's got to be the Tinkerbell from Hughes. I mean, with the huge boobs and like just I mean, it's ridiculous, over the top. Hughes is just, I mean, it's hysterical how ridiculous it is, and I love that.
It's because of boobies, and we are in the boobies.
It's also the Sienkiewicz style that I like the least, which is that line art with almost like watercolor over the top of it. I prefer it when he does more acrylic or oil looking pieces. And I don't know if there's less work involved in a cover like this or not. And there's nothing wrong with it. Look, it's a really cool cover, and I do like it. But from Sienkiewicz, it's my least favorite style from him. So I think the Hughes wins for me. Is there a trade dress of the Hughes? Please tell me I don't have to pay like $50 for this.
Hi,
cover.
Kenneth. No, I heard that there is not.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, so Igor said, good luck finding it.
Oh, we'll find it, because it's Hughes. If they advertised that it was Hughes, people would order it outright. So it's not going to be a problem finding it. It's going to be a problem affording it. That's the problem.
I'm a fan of the Hughes. I definitely think Sienkiewicz is giving a dark version of Peter Pan. Yeah. Wings working overtime to keep that torso airborne.
Yeah, it's not
yeah, so for me, I mean, I actually really dig the Sienkiewicz. I like it in that darkness, that kind of, I mean, oh my gosh, what's his name? Smitty? Is the guy who wears the striped shirt for it's on
Smee?
It's Smee.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
My mom's all over the place right now. But yeah, Smee looks like a clown, which is kind of crazy. I'm sure that might be bushes in the back that makes it look like it's his part of his hair. He might actually.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I didn't even look. I didn't zoom in that closely, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I dig the face of Captain Hook. I love the fact that the that TikTok, the alligator is it a crocodile? It's a crocodile.
I think so. Man, I should know that. That's bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a crocodile. I'm sure Peter Pan says it like multiple times. But yeah, he's right behind him. He's gonna get him. You even got the ship in the background, so I it's kind of really cool. But I can't argue against the Hughes.
The Hugheses were 54 on Midtown, and they're wish listed.
Oh, so that means they're gonna be like $70 to $100 on eBay.
Yeah, it's not that good a cover.
No, it is not. But I do see what people are saying. Very good perspective. Her whispering into probably Peter's ear. With the glow bugs around her. That's really cool. I know out here in California, people have never seen glow bugs, but they're really cool in real life. I'm telling you.
Yep.
And yeah, that is one crazily drawn Tinkerbell.
Indeed.
even I can appreciate it. That's
but
not
she
a
is
problem.
kind of what's the word? Forward, at least in the Disney movie anyway. So I mean, it's not her being overly sexy is not out of the realm of possibilities.
Right. I mean, like, wasn't she had the hots for Peter from the whole beginning?
Mm-hmm.
And
she gets super angry at Wendy.
So yeah, the Hughes is probably going to be a ghost. Sorry, guys.
I don't know if it's going to be a ghost. It's just going to be expensive.
Yeah. Is there any what do you call it, store exclusives for this book?
I don't know. That would help it be a little bit more common, wouldn't it? Let's see.
Yeah, that would absolutely help.
Those toys.
But go check it out. See what you can find. Let us know if you get it. All right, let's move on to DC. Catwoman number 74. We got a W. Scott Forbes at a 1 in 25, and we got a Frank Cho at a 1 in 50. All right, Frank Cho is definitely doing these Catwoman covers. Mike.
Wow. Man, I gotta say, much like the last one, I'm not a huge fan of the Cho. And I'm kind of mad at that. I want to love the Cho. It's not bad. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad in any way. I think maybe the problem I'm having with these isn't so much any one particular element, is that he's leaving so much blank space around the edges that I feel like he's not doing his own art very much justice. I see what he's trying to do. He wants this sweeping sort of the whip and the whole thing to go outside the lines. And so from a compositional standpoint, I think I understand what he's trying to do. It also allows him to put the cats down there on the bottom and stuff. But I really like the Forbes. It's not super exciting, but it is sort of a cool way to do this. But it's kind of, I can't tell if it's digital or not. I'm having real trouble with these two. I don't love either one. Let's just put it that way. Like, I will not be buying either one of these covers. I love Cho, and I'll pretty much grab almost anything that he does, whether it's an incentive or not, if I can. But this is not my favorite. And the Forbes is cool. I like the idea behind it, but it feels a little digital to me. And again, a lot of blank space in that one too, even though I think he fills it a little bit better than Cho does. But I'm not a huge fan of either of these, especially not at these incentives.
Yeah, the chat is saying the cover A is really cool.
Panosian, yeah, it is.
And yeah, I guess that's the Dan Panosian. All right.
Yeah.
And then they were saying the other book has a couple of store exclusives. The Last Boy.
Oh, dude, the Panosians. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's a butt cover too.
I don't think they do all the bordering. Yeah, so I'll give you one thing. These aren't as terrible DC incentive books as they usually are.
Yeah, agreed.
I think these are, they're fine for incentives. I hope the Forbes is not digital. I don't think it is, but
I don't know. It just has its feel to it that, I don't know. Maybe it's just too slick.
I could have done without Catwoman tumbling there.
Yeah, that does ruin it a little bit.
But I think the rest of it would have been fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I corrected the Panosian's the C cover.
Okay, the Panosian C. So the A and the C cover are good for this one.
Yeah, the A is cool. It's a Fiumara cover, and that is also very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I really sucks when the incentives are worse than the regulars, but then I guess as a collector, it's the opposite way, right? It's like, oh yes, I don't have to pay an arm and a leg for the incentive because the regular covers are better. So
wait, the B cover, hang on, the B cover is the Cho also, and the only difference is it has a little Catwoman up in the corner, a little
on the top right.
On the top right. Otherwise, it's and a barcode down at the bottom. Otherwise, it's like nearly an identical cover.
Yeah, so you want the Frank Cho, just get the one with the trade dress on it. It's not
seriously, it's so similar.
Yeah, that's nuts. What a waste. I mean, I like Frank Cho's style. This Catwoman doesn't do it for me. He's done way better Catwomans than this one. So I'm definitely, I'm a little upset about that because it's front and center. But I like the design, the layout. I get it. Which one would I pick? Darn. I guess I'm gonna have to go with the Forbes. I'll go with the cheaper version and I'll just pick up the regular trade dress for the Cho.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move it on to the next one. All right, we got Absolute Batman #6 by John McCrea. It's a 1 in 25, and looks like Alonso doesn't like it. All right, what do you think, Mike?
I don't like it either. I don't know if it's face palm, because it's got some cool dynamics to it, but yeah, I mean it's super deformed and looks like a Photoshop stock background, and it's a pretty lazy cover. I think it's got some cool line art in it, and I see that there is some cool style going on in here, but it doesn't translate real well.
Igor's saying it's a key issue too.
It looks like kind of a big mess. Yeah, so it'll be higher price, and then it'll go down when no one cares about the key anymore. And so don't buy in right now if you're gonna if you like it. I don't like it. Again, I don't know that it's a face palm, but it's certainly not a great cover. It certainly should not be a 1 in 25 incentive, that's for sure. But I do like some of the almost like Edward Gorey style hatch work going on in the line work. That's cool, and clearly there's some influence going on in there, so I dig that part of it, but that's not enough to like the cover overall. I think overall it's kind of garbage.
Yeah, they're saying the last panel is going to have the cameo / first appearance, and then the 7 is supposed to have the first full appearance. So I don't know who the character is. I haven't had a chance to read my Absolute Batmans yet, but I think I'm going to do that over the upcoming weekend. Yeah, this cover is like, it's one of those things where if you're a speculator or someone who likes first appearances and thinks it's going to be a big character, I feel sorry for you that you would have to put this in your collection.
Yeah, seriously, I agree with that.
Because I'm one of those people, like, if there's a key character and I think I'm gonna like that character, I will try to get the incentive. But I mean, this makes me not want to do that. This feels like a Mad magazine version of it, but way worse. Like, I can't even tell where his head is. If that's his head, where I think it is, like right in between his like arm, good Lord, he's never gonna see his feet.
Just as a reminder, guys, like first appearances that people go nuts for in DC Comics that are hot at first and then they die, they really die.
No,
like first punchline. I mean, there's a great example. You can get that book for $25 now. You couldn't touch that thing for less than 100 forever.
Wait, what book you said?
First Punchline, whatever that was. Hellarism number, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
What's Batman Who Laughs Now? That's not that much better.
No.
So, I mean, and those were 2 big first appearances for DC. And those books have both tanked.
Yeah, I mean, even the Court of Owls, which has a lot of speculation for the next Batman movie.
Yeah.
Even that has fallen from its heights. So
I mean, here's I'm looking on eBay right now. There's Teen Titans 12s for $35.
Yeah, there you go.
Again, a book you couldn't even breathe on for less than $100.
First Hush, yeah, I think First Hush has come down as well.
It has.
So
it's
still
got value. It's still got value, but it's not.
It does. It's definitely going to hold more value later than some of these other ones.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And there's isn't that the one that has the second print that's really rare as well?
For Hush?
For Hush? Am I making that up?
I think
is that the wrong book?
No, I think you are right. And I even think there was newsstand editions of it. Of the
right.
Of Hush. Yeah.
That's right. I might have the wrong issue in my brain, but it's whatever from that run. There's the whatever that is, 609. So is 609 the first appearance of that, or is it the next issue that's the first appearance?
I'm not sure. I think it's 609. That sounds right.
And that's the one that has the second print that is super expensive, which I used to have a 9.8 of and sold it. Whoops. Wow.
It happens to all of us. Trust me.
I think I sold it pretty high, if I remember correctly, but I probably should have kept it. Oops.
Yeah, I'm
no,
I'm not
609.
Okay with
sorry, 609 is First Hush.
608 second print.
608 second print is the one that's the really expensive one.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Mark.
That's the one. Yeah. All right. So I was one issue off. Yeah.
First Red Hood.
Oh, $750. I sold it for more than that. All right, we're good. We're good. I'm okay.
Yeah, there is a soft market, of course. Yeah, I mean, the economy is going down, so people spend less money on stuff that's more frivolous, even though I don't want to say that our comic books are frivolous.
Oh, and I've done it, man. We've done it. We've all done it 100 times over. I mean, I bought into all those books too. I've sold them all
Forgive
now,
you.
but I did buy them all. And I mean,
What up,
you know,
Reef?
as long as you're at the right edge of the market. See, back then you could get in on a book like that early and get it cheap, and then and watch it go up. Now they're already expensive before they're even released. So if you didn't get on it, FOC, or you didn't have somebody holding it for you at a shop, you're screwed now.
That happens so much these days. I don't like the way it works, because I'm like, I'm a collector first, so I want the collectors to actually get the books, the people who actually read the books, to get the books when it first comes out. And now it's become cards, it's like Pokemon cards and all the other collectibles that everyone gets. Oh, did I mention Pokemon cards, the trigger word?
Gosh, yeah. But I mean, the market's definitely changed. It makes it really hard to do any of that speculative stuff now, especially since people are not speccing on movie stuff like they used to, because the movies haven't been as good. So It's like, what are you really buying into? Are you really just losing money? Don't buy into the top of the market. Make sure you don't do that, because you're probably never going to see a return on your investment. You might get lucky here and there. But it's why we say what we say. Buy what you like. Buy what you wouldn't mind keeping, even if it were worthless, because the odds of it keeping any value is going to be low, unless you're talking about real keys. I mean, when we're talking about gold, silver, bronze keys, real keys, there's a few moderns, but not many. What, Miles, Harley, maybe X23. Like, there's a few, but
yeah, there's a handful or two, and that's it.
Gwen, obviously, but even the ones we just said, I mean, Punchline and Batman Who Laughs, which are both cool characters. I mean, not even those have legs anymore, and those were so popular, and now they're just nothing books. So just be careful. We're just warning you to be careful. Not trying to be Nancy negative over here. Just I don't want anyone to waste their money. I want you to spend your money wisely.
I mean, real speculation for comic books is long term.
Yeah, it is.
Because
it's something with some staying power.
They run through characters in a heartbeat. One storyline to the next storyline. And the next storyline, there's going to be new characters that come and new characters that go, and you'll never see them again until one day some creator, some writer goes, I want to bring something fresh or refresh this character's background and make it more interesting and make him a more important character. That happens all the time. So yeah, it's hard to speculate immediately on first day. That's crazy.
Yeah. Awesome Sauce, was that supposed to say FOMO, or is that a term I don't know? Is thermo something that I'm unfamiliar with? Maybe that's a term I don't know.
Try to get it. Would be a slave to the thermo. Oh, FOMO. I'm sure he meant FOMO.
I'm assuming you mean FOMO. Yeah, and I agree with that 1,000%. And I saw it so much during COVID and afterwards, and people just sitting on garbage now, stuff that's worthless, and they have no way to move it. Nobody wants it, and they're just taking like pennies on the dollar now for some of that stuff. The market was so inflated, and then after COVID, everybody had nothing better to do for 2 years than to sit at their computer and learn comic books. So now people know what they're doing, and there really just aren't deals out there anymore. You just got to, just buy what you like. Just buy what you think just won't matter. If the thing ends up being worthless, you will still love it.
Yeah, it's like the stock market. You can't hit every hot stock. you literally can't go on collecting that way. Just collect what you like, collect what you want to read. If you get lucky and you get a key book for cover price at the day it was released, I mean, woohoo, bonus.
See, now, Trish, what you're talking about, that's a different story. One, you're the creator, so you've got love in your heart for that, right? So there's that piece of it. The second thing, which is super important, is the story is fucking incredible. People will always want those issues. You might not get a lot of money for them, but you'll always be able to sell them because the story's so good. So I think that regardless of, whatever covers you happen to still have, or, do you have the hot cover, the not hot cover, the whatever, that's always going to be a sought after book because it caught everybody by surprise. People will it's like Walking Dead. People will always want those first like 50 issues of that thing. no matter what they're worth, even though they've all tanked since the show sucked. They want, I mean, at first the show was great, and then they just jumped the shark and kept jumping the shark and continue to jump the shark. So,
I'm so sorry, Mike. I got back-to-back coverage for you.
God, man, that's awful.
All right, we got Exceptional X-Men, not so exceptional, I guess, for Mike. Number 7, by Rian Gonzalez. This is 1 in 25. This will get the chat going again. Mike, why don't you get him started?
Oh my God. I mean, look, I just don't get these covers for these books. I don't have a problem with her style on the right book. If it's a kiddie book, put her on all day long. Her, Chrissy Zullo, all those people, they're great on books like that. And they belong on books like that. They do not belong on X-Men. This book's supposed to be serious and gritty. And I just don't, there's no link up for me. So I'm not going to bash the art because I get that there's people who love this stuff and it is the Rainbow Vomit chibi.
Reese likes it.
Things. And I get why you might like the art, but just in parallel with the book that it's on, it just doesn't make any damn sense to me. I just don't get it. It would be like putting Sienkiewicz on My Little Pony. Like it just doesn't work. Like they're not akin, and they shouldn't cross the streams, if you will. So I don't like it at all because I don't like the book that it's on. The art itself, not my style. I get it. It's colorful. It's fun. It's cute. And that would be great on the right book. This isn't the right book.
Oh, gosh, I'm of two minds here. I kind of agree with you with what you said, but then there's the who does all
like
the
it anyway.
Who does the kitty covers?
The kitty covers. Talking about what are you talking about? Talking about Scotty Young?
Yeah, Scotty Young.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it in that category of Scotty Young because it's he puts a kitty cartoon version, a cutie version of him, and of every character, every book that he's pretty much touched in Marvel, and then you've got. And it doesn't fit either because they're like Super Kitty and it could be Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
But then everyone picks up that cover because everyone likes it. And I'm just like, that's kind of weird.
Igor has it though. He doesn't make it all Rainbow Vomit. It's just cute.
Rainbow Vomit.
Yeah. So I mean, I get what people are saying that this kind of doesn't fit the genre and but I also understand that, people are into anime and manga, and this is toward that.
It's manga.
World. Manga. I'm so sorry. Manga.
I'm just kidding. I don't care how you say it.
But you're absolutely right. It is manga. But yeah, I mean, I think the cover is actually okay. I get why you wouldn't want it on the X-Men book, but she is getting married, looks like. Or she's putting her makeup on, so I guess it's for that cutie kind of thing. So,
but we need the chibi dog riding a chibi cat with a chibi Captain Marvel. Who is that with the mascara thing and the?
I don't know.
They're putting on her makeup. All these little chibis. I don't get it, man. It's like
we all don't.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if you were doing like Marvel Action X-Men, that's supposed to be meant for kids, maybe.
I'm what I'm imagining here is she's putting on her makeup, but she took some mushrooms earlier.
There we
go. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. The explosion of the color, seeing little people all over your shoulders and
putting your makeup on for you.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely can see that now. Yeah, Scotty does the same thing.
Sorry.
Go for it.
I was going to say, my problem with Scotty Young has never even really been those covers per se. It's been what I know he's capable of, which is his other style that he used on those Wolverine and Deadpool covers early on, and that Middle West book that he did that was his. And I love that style. Very, very cool. Very, very sort of outside the lines and manic and sort of almost like punk looking. I don't know how else to describe it. I love that style from Scotty, and I wish he would lean into that more. And away from the baby covers. But I get they're easy, they're quick, they make them money. I understand the game, but like, give us a little of both, since I know you can do them. Whereas Gonzalez, she's a one-trick pony. She can only do this. So I'm not going to bash her for her style. I just don't think it belongs on an adult X-Men book. Or I shouldn't say adult. I guess there's really none of these are supposed to be adults, but you know what I mean? Like not a little kitty one.
Yeah, it's more teeny than cutie is the genre here. So, but right. I get it.
It's X-Men.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I like the cover. Alonso can vomit all over it all he wants. But I'm not buying these for 1 in 25s. I'd rather these just be the BC covers. So, all right, we'll move on. Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor, number 2. Francis Manapul, the 1 in 25.
Not even a good splash page.
I'll go first. I'll just get it out of the way.
Okay, yeah, take it away, man.
Yeah, this is God. Even the proportions are off a little. It's the perception, perspective, and God, the explosion in the back. That's a terrible explosion. It's so lazy. Yeah, DC just doesn't do any of these justice anymore. No.
How is this an incentive? This is such a bad cover.
Incentive suck. This is straight up a panel that I would care less that I just flipped right by.
Yeah, they're really bad. All proportions are wrong. The colors are awful. The explosion's terrible. It's really not good, man. It's not even good for an A cover.
No. I really looks like it's a panel that's like nonchalant. Wouldn't even notice. You just skimmed right through that page, you know.
We should just stop doing things like this.
Lex Booty cover.
Man, from the mouths of babes, everyone. You heard it here.
Trisha. Yeah.
And 1 second.
Oh, Apollo.
Nice.
Wow,
the chat's actually crushing it more than we are.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell there's so many issues wrong. I can't even name. I'm not going to name them all. We're going to be here all night.
And why is everything green?
Oh, stop it!
You gotta take off your glasses, Dale.
Oh yeah, that's the.
Let's move on. This isn't even worth wasting more time.
Yeah, we're done. DC, fix your incentive covers, please. All right.
Okay.
Well, okay. We got Daredevil Unleashed.
Now we're talking.
The Red Band, number 3, by Alvin Talavera. And this is a 1 in 50. So this is obviously the version of probably the A or B cover. Mike, you get to start us off.
Man, this is gorgeous. Like this is amazing. And we haven't seen a really good Elektra cover in a while. And I think part of that is because she's been like the Daredevil with the mask on and everything. So we haven't really gotten full on crazy hair Elektra in a really long time. So I really, really like this. This has some really good depth of color, some really good shadow work. I love the reds chosen because sometimes artists choose a color that's way too bright. In this case, not so much. This looks like a classic oil painting. I mean, this is really, really, really good. I love the hair. The look on her face is tough and sexy at the same time. It is the right balance of all the things. But it would be better with better boobs.
Yeah, because her boobs look too
pointy.
No, they look too like.
Okay, well, she's leaning back a little bit. She's arching her back, so that's the way they would look. That's cool. This is a gorgeous book. I'm fine with the trade dress one. That's one I'll probably try to get my hands on, unless this happens to be really cheap, which I doubt it will be. But still, I think this is a really, really
red boobies for the win.
And one of the I think maybe he's taken some Joseph Michael Linsner lessons on how to draw boobies, which are always super pointy. Although the Joseph Michael Linsner ones always have that little slope to them, which is the difference there. Either way, I think this is a gorgeous cover. I love the musculature in her arm. Just everything about this is really, really cool. I think this is a really beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, Bruce, I don't know if they're two different shades of red. It could just be what they copied and how they copied it.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're pretty identical. Unless this one's a foil or something, but Marvel doesn't usually do that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's more similar than not. Because I do like the brightness, and it. I mean, I guess either one is good, but yeah, the art is great. I like how he drew her. She looks like she's not standing and posing. It feels like, oh, this is like she looks a little more powerful.
Yep.
And I mean, even Wonder Woman-ish, right?
Yeah.
That's I like that. Definitely with all the muscle tone, all the details. Yeah, this is definitely like I can go with the Sears background on this one. You know?
Oh yeah. I think more detail in the background would have ruined the cover in this case.
You're probably right, because then you see the details of the like her hair wisping and yeah, just paying attention to her. But yeah. I definitely dig this. So good for you, Ivan. This is really good. All right, let's move on. We got Psylocke number 5 by Ben Harvey, the 1 in 50. This is obviously a virgin variant of the A cover. Wow, this is a wowie Psylocke version. Mike, before I get in trouble.
This seems very different for Ben Harvey. Am I just like misremembering his style? Because I don't feel like this is what I'm used to from him.
Can anybody check if this is a Ben Harvey cover?
Is this actually a Ben Harvey cover? Because it's
maybe Alonzo might have put in the wrong artist.
He has been known to do that from time to time. Well, first of all, just from a color perspective, I always love purple with yellow. I think it's a really cool combo. I think the two colors work off each other really well. So I do like that choice. There's a lot of boob going on here. So much so that it's almost distracting from the art. But and I know I sound sort of like prudish by saying that, but there's got to be some balance, right? And I mean that literally and figuratively in this case. So in that way, I don't love it. I also think her forearm is a little too thin. If that's what the rest of her body's like, I think that that's a little bit weird and wrong. I do kind of like the leather jacket, although it does this weird thing to the overall figure. It makes her look big and puffy in a weird sort of like, I don't know, Charlie XCX kind of a look. Like that's sort of like a dress, a style that's kind of in style here and there right now. But I think the thing I like the most about it is the face, in that it's Psylocke with at least a slightly Asian feel to her, rather
it's Ben
than
Harvey.
Sort of it is Ben Harvey. Okay. Than just this whitewashed Psylocke that we get so often. So I like that part of it. So there's definitely elements of this cover I like a lot. I think I would have felt a little bit more comfortable at 1 in 25 on this puppy, but either way, I think it's an okay cover. It's a good, not great. There's some things wrong with it that I don't love that are kind of ruining it for me, but I think overall it's a pretty good piece of art with really cool color contrast.
Hey, Adam, it is the last cover that we were talking about, the Elektra cover. It is Elektra on Daredevil Unleash Hell, number 3, the Red Blood version, I guess. Red Band version.
Yeah, and there's also a trade dress version, which
yeah,
I'm fine with at $5.
Yeah, so I mean, I like this style of Ben Harvey's. Yeah, there might be a couple of issues. Definitely that Mike mentioned, the forearm, but I do like the fact that, like you said, it's not a overly whitewashed Psylocke. Basically saying that she's Asian. I do dig the steam or like coming out of the sword. That's probably, it's kind of cool. She's more, well, I live in SoCal, so I don't know if I can say this is more realistic, because I guess you never know in SoCal. But I've seen Asians who look like this in SoCal, and like she's not, like Psylocke isn't like, overly thin in this one.
True.
So she's a little thicker, her thighs everywhere. She's a little bit thicker, and I kind of like that. It's a little bit more realistic, but she still looks athletic. So It works. I like the outfit. I even like the yellow background. When someone said it makes her stand out, pop out more.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Laker color, so I'm always go down with that.
Okay.
But yeah, I actually like this cover. I would I get the 1 in 50? I don't know if I like it that much. I'd have to stare at it a little longer, which might get me in trouble. So yeah, but I do like it. Yeah, I Igor, definitely I like them hips. So yes. All right, well, let's move on before I get in trouble. Magic number 3, Jenny Frisian, 1 in 100. Good God, a 1 in 100. And it's not that different from the trade dress, which
No,
makes it even worse.
I know.
Oh, I love Jenny. All right, go ahead, Mike.
I like this one. I do. I think maybe it's just because it could just be because it's a character I don't think she's ever drawn before. So I always like that when she sort of branches off to a different character. And in this case, she differentiated the face. It's not sort of that cookie cutter Frisson face that we get a lot. It's definitely something different. It's more jaw forward. And it just makes her look like a different character, which is cool. It's got all the signature Frisson stuff, although I will say that I think she didn't focus as much on the hair as she normally does. I usually like Frisson hair a little bit better than here, but I mean that's really nitpicky in this case. But it's good. This is really good. But that said, I'm totally fine with the regular trade dress version as opposed to the crazy 1 in 100 that I'm sure will go for over $100 since it's Jenny.
Stick says it so well. I got 1 in 100 problems, and use of A cover art is 1.
Yeah, I would say that's very, very true. But this is good. This is a solid cover from her. And she's got a couple of other covers this week too. She's got one for New Gods, I think, and I think I saw something else for an indie. I think she's got like 3 covers dropping this week. So she was a busy girl this month. But yeah, this one's pretty good. I really dig this, and I like Magik anyway. I'm a little bit of a Magik homer, so that kind of helps a little bit.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it. I think it's good, but I'm totally fine with the $5 version.
Well, there's a lot of people who Magik is one of their favorite characters. My LCS owner, his favorite character is Magik. So yeah. Yeah, I mean,
he's probably keeping it for himself.
No,
right?
It depends how much he really likes his cover.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times he doesn't keep them. He does let everybody else try to get a hold of it.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, I think the one thing I have a problem with is the hair that you mentioned. It kind of, I don't know if it fits. Like I'm so used to her drawing hair like kind of perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
A little wispy, a little, more lines, details. I mean, just more lifelike. This is definitely a different, like maybe she just got her hair wet. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not buying the 1 in 100. I am not going to be a sucker for that. So I would just get the A cover and be happy humming all the way home.
Yep, I agree.
I
mean, maybe that's just where we are in our collecting habits these days. I used to probably want to hunt for these kinds of things, but I just don't care anymore. If they're not going to be different in some fundamental way, I see no reason to spend that much more for the same art.
Yeah, I mean,
in such an oversaturated market too, on top of it.
And I know that look, just pay the other artists more money so they can make a better cover for you. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Or a different cover.
Yep.
It just doesn't make any sense to me other than just laziness and just milking the market or your collectors.
Yep.
So, oh well. We'll keep yelling at the clouds. All right. Now that we've gone past the incentives, we'll get to the store exclusives. I hope there's not a lot in here. Please, Alonso.
I don't think there are. I didn't get a whole lot
of course. Well, I'm so sorry. This is not even do any of you any good because this is probably all sold out already. This is Marvel Rivals #1, J. Scott Campbell, A, B, C, and D covers. It was $120 for all 4 covers, I believe.
And now they're selling for $400 or $500 for this set.
Oh my god, just kill me already.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, what are your thoughts?
So I like the Squirrel Girl. I guess I kind of like the Psylocke, but again, that might just be because I like Psylocke. The other two just feel. Let me put it this way: the Squirrel Girl doesn't feel like Cookie Cutter Campbell to me. The other 3 all do, and I don't know if it's the colors or if it's the character or what it is. But the Squirrel Girl stands out as being a very different kind of a thing for him, and so I dig it. The other 3, to me, are kind of like everything else that I've seen from him over the last 2 decades. They don't really do very much of anything for me. They're not bad covers. They're good, solid Campbells. But $500 for this set? Like, come on, man. I think what you do is you try to choose your favorite one and find somebody who's selling just the one you like and just go for that one. To me, it's the Squirrel Girl, and that's the way I'm going to do this, almost like a versus. Campbell versus Campbell versus Campbell versus Campbell, and I'm going with the Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, so I'm not into the one because of Jeff. I'm not into the Marvel Rivals. I haven't played the game.
No, me either. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Kind of don't really care to at the moment. I just don't have the time.
Agreed. Supposed to be pretty fun, but
yeah, I've seen the gameplay. I mean, it's all over YouTube and Instagram and all. People are playing. So, I mean, I get it. It's a new thing, and it's like I guess they're like really cool designs of the characters on the game.
Mm-hmm.
So sure, I'm always down to see different uniforms and them, characters drawn differently. Like I said, I'm not into it right now. So, like the buzz for me, it's just if I like the art, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I get what you're saying. Squirrel Girl is the most different. It's because she's the only one not standing, stretching her body out and arcing her back.
Yeah. She looks a little less fragile than the other girls as well, which maybe helps.
And I like Squirrel Girl like that. That's cool. I dig that. I actually do like the Squirrel Girl. I'm with you. I'm a little more, leaning or favoring Psylocke as a character, but he's done so many Psylocks. I'm sure there's one better than this one.
Oh, I'm almost positive. And honestly, if 10 years from now you had this in a box with his other ones, would you know which one was which?
Right, exactly. And
I'm guaranteeing you wouldn't.
I do like Luna as well, but Jeff the land shark on there gets a little bonus from me.
Yeah, I almost said I like that one just because of that, but that's the only reason why.
That is the only one of the reasons. So I mean,
it's cute,
but I'm like cool if I got any of these covers. I'm not going to lose my mind anymore because it's J. Scott Campbell. Everybody is all over it all the time. It always sells out and it's overpriced, and I'm good. I don't need to dig into that market. If I get it, I got it.
Because these were how much? 120 for the set to begin with? That's already too much.
Yeah, it's $30 each. That
buy-in is already a rough buy-in on a set like this.
And the fact that it's normal for J. Scott Campbell covers, I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
Okay, but bad for collectors?
It is. I mean, especially people who are trying to be completists and feel the need to buy this for $120 a set, or worse, if you're trying to buy it on the aftermarket. That's almost mean to do to your fans.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, and I'm sure he works with Marvel. He can order more than the minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, he can work something out, and I sell it to your fans for $25. I don't know. It's just, you're just milking it so much and taking advantage. But I guess that's what you have to do when you're starving artists too, right? Because Marvel doesn't pay great.
No.
So I don't know. It's of two minds, but I'm more for the collector. I wish people could get what they want. All right. Well, moving on. Oops. Did I go past one? No, I did it.
So I got
Okay.
invented the back button.
Here's I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer #1. Holy crap, what a title. By Lamb. Never heard of Lamb. It's $30 for a limited 400 copies at Rabbit Comics and Hive Comics. So it's a shared. What do you think, Mike?
Not cool enough to be $30. That's for starters. I don't, and even at 400 copies, does anyone even care or know anything about this book and want it for $30? Probably not. It's not a very compelling cover, other than the fact that it kind of has that like close-up Psycho sort of feel to it, like the close-up in the shower moment kind of has that look on her face. It's good art. I like it. It kind of has that Mondo feel to it. And I don't hate it, but this feels like it should have been more like a $15 cover to me. Oh, it's $30 signed, Igor is saying. So
is it $30 signed? Is that what he said?
Maybe it's cheaper unsigned.
Oh, it's $19.99, Igor is saying.
Okay, not horrible, right. But still, I still don't think it's a compelling enough cover. Show me why she's frightened, or show me why she's surprised.
It's $30 signed. Okay.
Give me more. Give me more of it. I like the style. I want there to be more context to the cover.
James, James, the owner of Hive Comics, or one of the owners?
Oh.
Is that's his cover art? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Okay. I know who James is.
Okay, that's a different story, actually. I don't hate that then. Wished I had known that, because that makes a big difference. That's really cool for his regulars. That's a different thing. Like, I know there was a local shop around me for a while that was doing covers that he didn't really even care if he sold them out. He just wanted those titles or those covers with his shop's name on them. And he made what he wanted. He hired the artists he wanted and really didn't care very much, or hired friends that were artists to do the covers.
There's a leather cover of this? I've never heard of that.
Leather? I've seen leather covers.
Wow.
Yep. A lot of the places that do metals do leather too. There's also wooden covers as well.
Wooden cover?
Okay. I've seen, there's a metal cover, of course. I've seen the wooden cover one. Wooden covers, yeah. But this gives me, oh God, what's the horror movie?
I was thinking Psycho. It looks like
that's what it looks like.
It's that moment in the shower where she gives the, oh my God, she, whoever she thinks it is, whether it's, well, I don't want to, if you haven't seen Psycho, I guess I'm not spoiling it at this point. It's your fault for not seeing it.
It's the close-up of the mom, right?
Yeah, it's the close-up of the mom for a second, and then it pans back to her face in the shower, close up, before she dies.
Right. So, I mean, that gives me that vibes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the art necessarily. I think it's good. I even dig the shading in the style.
Mm-hmm.
So damn, but it's $20. Okay, I keep thinking it's $30. Okay, well, $20 is fine too. And for the limitation, and I've always liked Hive Comics, so yeah, this works. This is good for you, James. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's cool. I take it back a little. I still think it's a touch overpriced, but even still, I think that's a cooler reason for the price point and for the cover to exist.
Yeah, for the limitation and $20 for the cover, I'm okay with that. If it was like 2,000, 3,000 copies, I mean, for your first time, but it's good art. Can't wait to see more covers. Then we'll find out how this goes. And good for you, because then you save money.
Yeah, I want to see more art from him. That's for sure. This is a cool style. I like it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We got Rogue, the Savage Land #3. God, have I seen this cover before?
I feel like because it's an homage to the Jim Lee.
Yeah, Lucas Wernick, $30. Don't know limitation, but we're all pretty sure we know the limitations. Unknown Comics. All right, Mike.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I like that it's a loose. What's it? The swimsuit. What the heck is that thing? What is that? It's like can't remember. Is it a magazine? I feel like it's a magazine with a Jim Lee. Somebody tell me what the hell that is. It's from like the 80s, maybe the 90s, but it's clearly trying to be that. And I kind of like it, actually, to be honest with you. Great work on the hair, nice work on the face. I'm not a huge fan of the shading, but that might not be Wernick's fault. That might just be the colorist. I'm not really sure, but I dig it. I mean, I think this does the trick. It's the look that people want from this kind of thing. But there's a lot of covers of Savage Land Rogue that have this feel to it, and I don't know that this is the best of them. $30 again, not a little pricey, definitely pricey for a book that we know there are 4,000 of in some shape or form. So
Apollo says, looks like Adam Hughes, baby.
Yeah, Adam Hughes just did
Marvel
one like this recently, a couple weeks ago, I want to say, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then this is the Marvel swimsuit special homage, right?
That's what I'm talking about. That's Marvel swimsuit special. That's the one. And I
they've
think
made posters
Jim Lee,
of
isn't
those.
It?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't hate it, baby." And Unknowns is having a fire sale. Good. Yeah. Oh, Juiceco. It's by Juiceco. So is this a okay? Derek is saying it's a swimsuit special by Juiceco.
Oh, is it? No. Oh, I'm thinking of a different cover. But there is a Jim Lee, but it's not the cover I'm thinking.
Isn't it a layout of like all of them, like one of the teams or both of the teams or something like that?
No, he's right. It's the Juiceco that this is an homage of. There is a Jim Lee for that, but it's not this.
Okay,
it's something different. Sorry, I got the two messed up. But yes, same book, wrong artist, but Jim Lee did do a cover for that.
Every version of Rogue Savage Land is her in a jungle too. Well, yeah, she's in the Savage Land.
I really can get the hang of this.
H has a better foil. And Unknown has selling trades and virgins. 2 books for $8. What? When not on their website. Oh, okay, got you.
All right. Well,
they're telling about the sales.
Okay. There's other covers. Yeah, go find them.
Yeah, Jim Lee did the cover. It was She-Hulk.
Yes, that's the one I was misthinking of. Yes, that is correct. That's the Jim Lee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good art. I like it. I might have a problem with her left arm, but it's pretty okay. Yeah, I just don't know if I'd pay $30 for it.
No, but apparently it's on fire sale right now. Is that what people are saying?
Well, they're saying stuff on Unknown is on fire sale right now. So I don't know if this is included. I doubt it. This is brand new. So, yeah. I mean, I like the art. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I for this kind of art, I don't even want to pay more than $10. I think it's cool.
Wait, Unknown Comics doesn't own unknowncomics.com? What?
I didn't know that.
just said domain available.
That's not good.
Yeah, they're unknowncomicbooks.com.
Oh,
Unknown Comics is available.
Damn.
Whoops.
Well, Unknown, you better get on that.
Yeah, someone can buy that and sell it to you for way more.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you like it, good for you. I think it's a little pricey, but if you want it, I'm not gonna argue if you buying it. But yeah, pretty decent cover. Oh, thank God. All right. Well, that is all for the incentives and store exclusives. So, Mike, could you tell us about Cover Fire and CBSI?
Yeah, I can tell you about Cover Fire, and I can tell you there isn't going to be one this week either, because we're back from spring break and grades are due this week. So I've got way too much stuff on my plate this week. So I'm sorry to come up with yet another excuse for why I'm not going to do one. But I will say this. I promise, and I have promised, and I've come through on my promises, I will have one next week. It may be a short issue. I think I'm going to change the format to only 3 covers. I'm not going to deal with any of the other nonsense. Just my favorite 3 covers for the week. Simple as that. So that will be on CBSI. That's comicbookinvest.com, late morning, early afternoon, depending on your time zone, at CBSI, comicbookinvest.com, on Tuesdays. And it is basically the antithesis of this podcast. It is just regular priced covers, no incentives, no store exclusives, just regular ABC covers, and that's it. So go check them out.
Wait, what is Igor asking you to show off?
Oh, he wants me to show off the thing that I got last week.
Let's see it. Okay.
Yeah, so this was the thing I was so excited about last week. Give me 1 sec. You just to go run through the stuff, run through the whatever you want to run through.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, stop talking.
All right. Well, let's give a shout out to our sponsors once again. If you want to get
His name again?
cover price, unlimited cover price for only 99 cents. You for 30 days, you can type in the code Nirvana14. It's a great tool to keep track of your collection and see what the market is doing. And then you can go to Bird City Comics to get 10% off your purchase by typing the code TNH10. Of course, they have store exclusives as well. They now have a brick and mortar, so they're always on Whatnot. So go check them out. And then our pal at DisplayGeek.com has all these Funko protectors, action figures, video game protectors, these cardboard shelving that are very stackable. You can get 10% off your first purchase by typing the code Team Nerd Herd. All right, sir, what are you showing off here?
Okay, so I did promise it last episode. And you all know how much I love RC. As a matter of fact, my last Cover Tunes, which was the other article I used to write for comicbookinvest.com, my final issue was on my favorite RC covers. And what I've always wanted was an RC cell. And if you know the cartoons from G1, you know that she's only in the movie and in 3 episodes, which is season 4. And then it moved over to Japan and it was Headmasters, and she's in that too. But I really wanted one from what I saw when I was a kid. And I got one from the movie this week.
Oh, was it with the junk?
It's on the junk planet.
Yes.
Yeah. And this scene would have had Blur and Spike running with her.
Right.
That cell is actually available, but I don't really care for it. So I'm just going to leave her alone. That's the scene though. That's the background. I basically did a magic lasso and took everybody out and then made a photocopy of it. And then I made a transparency of the logo for the movie to go over the top of everything. And then that's the cell drawing all by itself. So, and then a pink mat, and I think it does it some justice, but I'm really, really excited. RC cells are so much rarer than everybody else. Other than maybe like Wheelie or somebody like that, that's not really in the movie very much. I mean, she's probably the rarest of all the main Transformers characters anyway. And I was always pissed that they never made an action figure for her or whatever, an actual figure for her back in the day. I could never figure out why they thought we wouldn't want a girl Transformer, because we loved our girl G.I. Joe figures. Why would we not love a girl Transformer? It never made any sense to me. And they just never made her. I don't know why. So she's only on 3 vintage comic books. She's on Transformers Universe number 4, I want to say. She's on the movie, obviously on the movie cover. I don't remember which number it is, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then she's on 2 of the UK weeklies. And that's it. She has no other covers in the entire original Transformers run. She has no covers in the regular run.
No.
Not a single one. Just 2 in the weeklies, because if you know how those work, Marvel UK would get the monthly story and break it up over 4 issues. And of course, they only had 1 real cover to use, whatever the US cover was. And then they had to basically make up the other 3 covers, either from interior art or get artists to draw covers. And luckily, she has 2 covers from those artists. And then she just has the movie cover where she's like a little piece off to the side of Ultramag. And then she's got the 1 cover with Ultra Magnus on Transformers Universe number, whatever the heck it is, 3 or 4. And that's it. So they really gave her the shaft back in the day. So RC is awesome. I'm super excited to finally have a cell. I way underpaid for it.
That's
it was an
awesome.
actual auction, and I won it. It had like, I don't know, 45 bids on it or something. I forget what the heck it was.
Dang.
Yeah. And yeah,
I know why they made the character, but I kind of know why they didn't make the toy. So,
well, they had a toy, they had a prototype made.
Yes.
And they couldn't get it so that she looked thin enough, like they didn't have her thin enough. They had real trouble.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So if you look up, there was a prototype made for her, and they just never produced it.
I also thought that they cut back, like they could have redone it, but then they just thought that she wasn't popular enough. It was supposed to bring in girls to watch Transformers as well.
Yeah, obviously they made her pink. I mean, they really sent it over the top.
And it wasn't that popular. I guess they did a survey, and it wasn't that, like, Transformers still wasn't that popular with girls, and they're like, the boys don't want a girl's toy, so we're not gonna redesign it and go forward.
They were so wrong about that.
I totally agree.
And thank you, Mark. You just put all the issues in the chat, or whatever. I mean, obviously, one of them's the movie one. I don't remember which issue, but yeah, Transformers Universe 4, Marvel UK Transformers 183 and 234, and that's it. Those are her only vintage covers.
That's crazy, and 2 of them are from across the pond.
Yeah, and I mean, you could find them for like a couple bucks, but then you got to pay $30 to ship them. So
yes. Yeah, well, this is the one everyone can get here for sure. That and the Transformers Universe
and Transformers Universe. Those are both super cheap books. And actually, the Transformers Universe cover is a pretty darn good one. It's just her and Ultra Magnus.
And isn't the movie one is pretty much close to the poster, right?
The poster, yeah, it's basically just the poster. Although she's colored wrong on it, if I remember right. She's like purple or something weird.
Of course.
Yeah, they did it. They did it super strange. But that's Marvel for you in the 80s.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got. No, I'm missing one of the 2 UKs. I think I don't have the one where she dies, which I believe is the earlier of the 2. I believe it's the 183. I don't have that one, but I do have the 234, and then I do have the Universe and the movie number 1. But no, I don't have that other one because I just refuse to pay all that shipping for it. That's my big problem.
RC dies.
I have no problem buying the issue, but it's literally at tops, it's a 5 or 10 pound issue, and I'm not paying. Oh, go on, like that's Mom. I'm not paying like $30 or $40 to ship a $10 comic. That's just stupid.
Yes, Adam. Mike got a cartoon cell from the movie, the Transformers, the movie, of RC on it. So and he has it all matted and framed up.
Yep.
It looks really awesome. It also has a sketch of it, of her as well, right?
Yeah, so it's the sketch cell. They would do those for those that, I mean, Trish could explain this better, but basically they do the sketch first on paper, on cell paper. It's got the holes in it. And then they line up a transparency cell, and they do the black line art based on the sketch, and then they flip it and they do the color, or sometimes they can transfer the pencil depending on what method they use. And then they can use the colored paints to do the rest on the flip side. And then when you flip it over, it's the image all beautiful right there.
It's really rare to get the original art from the cell.
It is, and it's really rare to get them like just full from the movie, like a good full figure cell that isn't chopped off by a door or like another character in front of her or something weird like that. To have her just be there all by herself with nothing obstructing any part of her is super rare. So I'm just really, really psyched to have. And the other thing too is, even in this scene, she only runs like 2 or 3 steps, and then she transforms into the car in that scene. So you only get, I mean, there's only maybe 4 cells of her in that scene. There's a bunch of close-ups of her here and there, like where you get like torso, head shot kind of things. And there's a couple really bad scenes where she's super far away out in the background, but there's really not very much of her as like a main character in the movie. In the 3 Headmasters episodes, she's featured pretty heavily. And then there's like 3 seasons of Headmasters in Japan. So I'm assuming those cells exist somewhere. I don't really know where, but I've never gotten a good copy of those to watch them because I've heard the dubs on that Malaysian version are really, really bad.
Uh,
I've never watched them, but I've heard the English dubs are awful. I'd almost rather watch it in Japanese with English subtitles, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've never watched those Headmasters episodes. If anybody knows of a better dub than that Malaysian one, please tell me because I would love to watch those at some point.
yeah, I want to get a hold of those episodes, like the whole series. I want to watch them. So if anybody knows where we can get them or
Yep.
watch them, let us
You
know.
can buy the set on eBay, but it has the apparently really awful dub.
Yeah. I want to forego that.
Yeah, I don't want that either. So
I
know that there was Sorry,
go ahead.
I know that there was a laser disc of at least a part of the series, and I wonder if that's dubbed at all or if it's just Japanese with English subtitles. I'm not really sure.
I would think there's so many Transformers fans that someone would have made a version of it with like English subtitles on it.
I had heard that there was a guy doing it on his own and didn't get very far. He got like 4 or 5 episodes in, and that was it. So, and I never
it's a lot
see
of
any
work.
of them. I just heard that was like in the works at some point, like 5 or 10 years ago, and then I never heard anything else about it.
Oh my god, you could just digitize it now, and then it'll be easy. Do it all in computers, subtitles. You're good.
Yep.
Someone get on that.
Please.
But anyways, Trish said it's the pencil line work. They make the lines on the cell and then paint it on the cell as well. So, and then she has a bunch of Ewoks and Alvin the Chipmunk cells that have the pencils. Oh, that's cool.
I've got a few that have pencils. All my Peanuts ones have pencils.
Yeah. The ones I saw that were like at Designer Con, way back in the days before they were super popular to get. Yeah, I would see like they would have the line work with the pencil, and then over it was painted like hard lined, the outside of the pencils on the top of the pencils. So it would have both on the cell.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of times too the cells stick to the. So I got lucky and unlucky. If you notice, the background is a little bit dim, and that's because there's tissue paper behind the cell, and the tissue paper actually stuck to the cell. But luckily, you can see through tissue paper.
Yes,
so that's cool. Whereas a lot of studios didn't put tissue paper in between, and so the cells often stick to the pencil art. And basically ruin both in a lot of cases. I have another Transformer cell from the Insecticons episode from season 1. It's Brawn, Spike, and Bumblebee, and the pencil art is stuck to it. I got it super cheap because of that. I got it for like $50 or something dumb, but it was stuck together. There's nothing you could do about it. And then I've got a bunch of just the pencils and no cells. I got basically. Almost, I think I have every main character except Optimus, which is sort of sad. He's like the one that I'm missing pencil art for. But I have everybody. Oh, and I don't have there's no sound wave. I have a shock wave, but no sound wave.
Oh, that's next on your list, sir.
Yeah, well, they all came from the same person, and that's all I basically bought them all. So it was like.
It's all right. We got this thing called eBay.
Oh, I know, but I got them so cheap. I think I got them for like $10 a piece or something stupid. This was years ago. This is not recently. Cells. Sorry,
that's how much the cells were at Decon back in the day.
Yeah, now cells
they
from a
weren't that
movie
expensive.
Like this one sell for thousands.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thousands. I mean, I think the cheapest one I've seen from the movie is like $1,200 or $1,500.
Oh my goodness,
it's crazy town. And I paid a fraction of that for this. So not only am I psyched that I paid a fraction of that, but also that I got the character I really, really wanted. Because I could get all the other characters from the show, and they're a lot more common and cheaper. Whereas RC, I can't.
Yeah, that's definitely would be a lot harder.
Really, any of the movie characters that were introduced in the movie only then exist again in 3 more episodes. So Blur, I don't think Wheelie's in anything other than the movie because he was so annoying. Seriously, Hot Rod. Although Hot Rod might be in because I think
he's in a lot more episodes.
He's in earlier episodes, so he's one that is in there. But then there's oh man, I'm gonna have
the junk guys. I can't remember
Yeah, they're only in the movie. So that's oh my gosh, what's that thing's name? Man, now I'm blanking, of course.
And then
But I'm thinking
What are-
like Chrome Dome and whatever the blue helicopter, and those
isn't that Blur?
Blur. Yeah, so Blur.
And then those Sharkticon looking things, what were they called? I forgot
Cup.
where they. Oh, Cup. Oh, that's it. It was Cup. You're right.
There's
It's
Cup
a
as well.
helicopter.
So those only then exist again after the movie in those 3 episodes of season 4, and then some don't ever show up again. The Sharkticons come out way later. They're like 2 or 3 toy waves later, and they're never in the cartoons again, as far as I know, unless they're in some deep dive Japanese thing. But the why can I not remember the name of
Thanks, Adam.
What's the name of the motorcycle guy from the junk guys? They only made one of them. Basically the one that talks in the movie, whatever the heck its name is. But
The one who talks in like advertisements.
he's got a weird like hyphenated name. Hang on, I got to look at the box. It's going to drive me nuts if I don't take a look at what his name is. Rekgar. I don't even have to get that far.
I knew the last part was Gar.
Yeah, Rekgar. That's his name.
Rekgar, that's it.
I didn't even get over there. I didn't cheat. I didn't get to the closet. I remembered before I got there. I promise. But yeah.
I need to rewatch the movie.
It's fun. You know what? It's still really good, and that soundtrack is badass, especially if you're an '80s kid.
That is, that was definitely the one of the things I remember the most. Is definitely the soundtrack was awesome. So
Yeah, the whole
I get super hyped watching that.
I remember seeing it in the theater. I mean, it's just.
I saw it in the theater twice, and I don't know why I subjected myself to watching Optimus Prime die twice in a row.
Yeah, man, super sad, right?
It was super sad.
Luckily, they brought him right back in those episodes. They realized they made a huge mistake and brought him right back, but still.
Yeah, it's funny. I watched it at a theater that's close to me. It's not super close. It's probably like 20 minutes away. I don't even know if that theater still exists, but yeah, I watched it as a kid, moved away, and came back, and now I live pretty darn close to it. So,
and yes, Igor, it is free on YouTube. Otherwise, you have to pay for it because it's not on Tubi anymore. It was on Tubi all the way up until last year, and then they took it off.
Yeah, I always see Transformer episodes on YouTube.
All the episodes are on Tubi. You can watch the 4 seasons on Tubi, but you can't watch the movie on there anymore. You can only watch that for free on YouTube, as far as I know.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Thank you so much for dropping in for another episode of Cover Lovers. Thank you, Mike. And hopefully Dale is sleeping well right now.
I hope so.
All right. And then we should be back next Monday. Don't forget to check in or tune in and watch all the other Nearing Nirvana shows. I'm sure they'll have a show tomorrow and Thursday. And then we'll be back on Saturday for Saturday morning toy box, I believe.
Oof, that's the one.
I'm telling you, I'm really rusty doing this.
You did great. Don't worry, man.
But yeah, thank you all, and we'll see you next time. And then let's get out of here, Mike. Okay.
If you want to do it right, buy what you like. Cover horse for life.
Peace.